Hello everyone, my name is Katie Lominashvili. I'm very excited to meet you today. Today we discuss, I hope, really interesting topic. Today we speak about habits that make our life better. They say that humans, we are creatures of habits, and even Aristotle said that 95% of everything we do is a result of habits. According to the one university, it's really interesting. According to Duke University, habits account for about 40% of our behaviors of any given day. Maybe not 95%, but 40% is reasonably high, maybe high percent. Yes, so it means that if we change our habits, we really change our lives. So let's speak about habits. First, we make our habits, then our habits make us. American author and entrepreneur Jack Canfield said that successful people don't just drift off to the top. Getting there requires focused action, personal discipline, and lots of energy every day to make this happen. Sometimes we think that the success happens like in a very easy way, but in reality, it takes too much energy. And first of all, it takes to have established really good habits to change our life and to achieve success in life. So as I have already mentioned before, today we speak about habits, but we speak about good habits which we would like to install and with which we would like to replace the old ones. So today we speak about good habits, which is so important to have installed to have very successful life. Now let's start. Let's go. The first one is to create a morning routine. Every day is a brand new start. Every day is a brand new start. Establishing a meaningful morning routine helps you to start the day on a positive and proactive note, and having a structured start to your day instead of rushing to make up for the last time also helps eliminate stress, mental fatigue, and enhances your productivity. So it's very important. And oh, by the way, it's really interesting to have the examples of the famous people, how and what way they are creating their morning routine. Maybe first of all, it starts with what time we get up. So let's start with it. What time we wake up? For example, really successful people like Richard Branson, he wakes up from 5 till 6. Approximately. And also Tim Cook, really interesting entrepreneur, the CEO of the head of the Apple. He wakes up at 3:45. Yeah, amazing. That's why they are so successful. Is it right? The next good habit, which really change our life. This is 80-20 rule. So we have to follow the 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle, we call it Pareto principle, is or the 80-20 rule means that any situation, 20% of the tasks yield 80% of the results. So we can maximize productivity by investing most of your time, most of our time and energy on those specific tasks that will create the biggest impact. Once you have finished those tasks, you can focus on other activities and that are on your to-do list. But first of all, we have to define which are the most important tasks from our to-do list. Sometimes it happens that we have so many tasks there, that's right. And but then at the end of the day, we are kind of disappointed that we could not really manage to fulfill all of them. It's really difficult, and maybe it demotivates a little bit us. So that's why it's very important, first of all, to define which are those 20% of the tasks which really makes our life better and which will really give us 80% and 80% of the result with which we will yield 80%. It's very important. Now let's go to the next. The next one is read, and again read. They say that leaders are readers. So maybe it's worth thinking about this. So just example again, Bill Gates, he reads approximately 50 books in a year. Warren Buffett, he reads for 5 or 6 hours in a day. Yeah, it's really amazing. So approximately 500 pages in a day. That's why they are who they are. Yes, that's why they are so successful. So if you want to be successful, we have to read and we have to install this habit, the habit of reading every day systematically, not just to read one book in a year. That's all, I'm more successful. No, not like this. To read systematically, to acquire new knowledge and to get new information. As you know that we call this 21st century the era of information. So we would like to be to be successful in this era, we have to be great readers, to be great leaders. Okay, more you learn, more you earn. Yes, we have to remember this as well. Reading books is a great way to gain knowledge and to stimulate creativity. Moreover, reading before bedtime can help also you to sleep more better. So it's worth reading. The next is learn to single task. Sometimes we think that we can multitask. We can do everything together. In most of the cases, ladies, you know that we can just, for example, read the book or taking care of the child or something like that. Everything together we can, yes, but it's impossible. In this case, we only gain stress. So that's why it's very important to concentrate on one thing at one time. So systematically, we have to do this way. First, we are concentrating on the first thing, then to the other, and so on this way. And why it's so important? According to the study conducted by the Stanford University, heavy multitasking lowers efficiency and may impair your cognitive control. Make a list of things you need to accomplish in a day. It's also very important to have the to-do list. In my case, I'm working always with to-do list, and I'm trying to use the Pareto principle to have the basic 20% of the task, which is the most important for me, to have the final consequence, which I desire to have. So the next one is an appreciate more. We have to appreciate, maybe first of all, life. Yes, not maybe exactly. First of all, we have to appreciate life as we are alive. And every morning we have to be really grateful and thankful that we are alive. And it's already the great reason to be happy and to be motivated, to my mind. A French novelist said that we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses. So it's really interesting, yes. So it's better to see the half full water of the glass, half full glass of the water, than half empty glass of the water. Is it right? The practicing gratitude is a great way to create positivity and reduce stress and improve your physical health. Start a gratitude journal. In my case, I started maybe already a year. I have this gratitude journal, and sometimes I forget. I have to say, yeah, openly. But most of the time, I just before going to bed, I'm writing there at least 5 or 7 reasons why I'm so happy, why I'm so gratitude, and it gives me happiness, and it enhances this level of the happiness. So it really helps. It immediately, instantly, you feel motivated yourself, and you have the reason why I have to be happy, why I have to be motivated. So it's really important. Remind yourself of at least one thing you are grateful for every day before going to bed. In my case, I'm trying to have more than one thing. So the more you appreciate the little joys of life, the happier you will be. The happier we will be if we appreciate our life as it is. The next one is a reward yourself. We don't have to forget about ourselves. I remember that people always say that if you want to help others, first of all, you have to have this something to share with others. Is it right? So that's why, first of all, we have to also focus on ourselves to make ourselves full, yes, with knowledge and with abundance, with happiness, to share with people and to make them happy as well, to make them abundant as well as tracking your achievements. A good way to motivate yourself is to reward yourself when you make progress. In my case, I have the vision board, and I'm always writing there what I want to achieve. I have my goal there, and at the end of this, like this, so the end point is what kind of rewards I have for my goals. If I achieve my goal, so I will reward myself. It really works. In my case, I have my brain Karavani, and I'm really motivated to make it successful, to make it much more active, to be proactive. But in most of the cases, it took a long time before I decided so firmly that I would like really to be very, very active towards my dream. And what I manage now, I have indicated in my plan, on my vision board. Okay, if I do this task today, I will have this reward. It works really because I want to have this reward. So I'm doing everything for this reward. So it's really very, very important. So I also advise you. It's kind of, I hope, a good recommendation. The next one is to surround yourself with positive people. My favorite speaker, Jim Rohn, said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So maybe it's worth thinking about this. So that's why it's very important to surround ourselves with positive people, because they support us. They give us much more motivation. They encourage us, and they just make us believe ourselves. It's really important. It's really utmost significant. So think about this. Surround yourself with positive people. And the next good habit, which I hope that it's very important to establish, until it's told, this is make time for exercise. In my case, I'm trying to lose my weight, and I started already this workout, but it's not really easy. It takes so much discipline. Every day you have to make yourself to wake up in the morning and to have this workout. But it's very important, not only in terms of physical fitness, but also in terms of your brain. In terms, if you want really to have the cognitive abilities enhanced, it's very important. So other than improving your physical health, working out regularly pumps up creativity and enhances your cognitive skills. So it's utmost important, really. And also it's endures, get energized. And at the same time, it elevates mood by boosting the production of endorphins. They are the hormones that act as natural antidepressants. So it's very antidepressant. It's very, very, very important. It works so well, yes, for so many directions. So why not? We have to install. I still need more reasons to hit the gym. So maybe not gym, but in my case, I just need my yard where if I don't have time to go to the gym, and in most of the cases I don't have time, unfortunately, for that. I have the yard where I'm going out and I'm jogging, running, and I'm trying to keep fit. So the next one, master the art of listening. So many people love speaking like me. I love speaking so much. I love sharing. Mostly I love sharing the positive information when I'm happy, and I'm sharing my happiness when I have some knowledge, and I'm sharing my knowledge. It's at most important for me. I feel so motivated in this case. But we have to remember, if you would like to be a good communicator, you will have to be a good listener. So master the art of listening. It's very, very important. You learn so much more when you are listening instead of speaking. So sometimes we have to listen, not only speak. Yeah, is it right? And the last one for today, forgive everybody and everything. By forgiving someone, you are moving forward in your life. This can release you from the misery and from holding onto the past. In my case, it was like this. Sometimes when we are feeling some, it's kind of demotivation, really, when we do not forgive the others. It holds on the past. So it's very important, first of all, for yourself to forgive them everything, to forgive really everybody and everything. It will open your way toward a successful future. It frees your heart, it frees your soul, and so light, and happiness comes to your heart and soul. It's very important. Just do it, first of all, for yourself and for the others as well. But we have to pay attention. How can we install the habits? How can we develop these habits? Yes, it's not so easy task. It takes too much energy. It takes too much willpower, too much discipline. So let's speak about this. I will share the methods which will make it easier for you to install these habits. The first one, maybe one of the most important, yes, this is the belief. You have to believe that you can change. This is a kind of starting point. So if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're probably right. Yes, there's a good saying exactly like this. You have to have this thinking aside. You have to have this belief inside. I can, and you have to have the starting point. You have to start from this belief. I can change my life. I can change my bad and old habit with new and really useful habits. So you have to start with this. The next one is by Brian Tracy, and I love this. Life is lived from the inside out. I believe in it. Everything you do on the outside is dictated and determined by your values on the inside, whether clear or the fuzzy. It's exactly like this. So the most important here, your goals must be congruent with your values, and your values must be congruent with your goals. This is why clarifying your values is often the starting point to high achievements and peak performance. When you're working, for example, in my case, I love really sharing this good information, and that's why I started my YouTube channel, and it gives me the vast majority of motivation, really fills me with energy and happiness. So what it means that my internal world, it's congruent with the external world, and it means so much. My values, it's congruent to my goals. I would like to make people happy, and what I'm doing now, what I'm working on, it makes me, it helps me for that. So that's why it's very important. When your values are corresponding to your goals and actions, you feel happy and you feel positive. You feel creative at the same time. And the next, I would like to pay your attention. This is one of the really interesting methods which will help you to install new habits and good habits. This is a Japanese method. This is Kaizen method, the Japanese method of transforming habits one small step at a time. Sometimes we want that immediately to change everything, yes, like a radical changes we want, but changes are happening incremental way, not radical way, yes, incremental way. So step by step, we have to change ourselves. The Japanese method, which is translating is a change, so it's really important, promises to improve all areas of your life, mainly breaking lifelong bad habits. It's so important, yes, to forget about bad habits and install on new habits. And through a series of personalized small steps, you will be able to start your Kaizen practice and start building good habits. It's very important. As we have already said, Kaizen is a Japanese, and it means the change for the better. Yes, continuous improvement, which is so important, really. So we can use with this method, with tiny steps, with tiny habits, with tiny improvements and progress every day, we can have immense and really significant progress in a long-term period. So think about this. According to Stanford University behavior scientist who has been studying how habits are kept for nearly 3 decades, it says the tiny is a mighty. Yes, what we have said. But again, to confirm, it's all about baby steps. The tiny habits, the small changes that change everything, that change our life. And we would like to change our life to make it much more better. Is it right? So, and the next one I would like to share, that's about Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within, one of my favorite books. And I strongly recommend to read this book. It really changed my life somehow toward the bad, not bad, toward the very, very positive side. So I was wholeheartedly recommend this book. They have converted the discomfort of discipline into the satisfaction of personal growth. When you are changing your bad habits and when you're converting your bad habits into good habits, it's not an easy process. It's very, very difficult. It's kind of very process at the same time. You have inside this, restriction, really. You don't really want to change the old habit. It's so firmly already ingrained that you don't want to change it with a new one. So that's why it's very, very important to change your focus. What's given us on Tony Robbins' word, to change your focus, not to focus on how we are doing it, how hard we are working, but to focus on your maybe this satisfaction of the personal growth. Yes, these small achievements and maybe tiny achievements, but anyway, the progress. So think about this. And one of the next, I hope it's really interesting, which I want to share. Quite often we hear that 21 days is kind of optimal, the number of the days, and if we repeat the same action for 21 times for 21 days, it will be installed as a habit. But now let's ask the question: is it real? Is it myth, or it's real? Again, now let's pay attention to this one, and from where this myth comes. Yes, this belief apparently originates from a Psycho-Cybernetics book published in the 1960s by plastic surgeon Maxwell Maltz. Maltz noticed that his plastic surgery patients took 21 days, approximately 21 days on average, to get used to seeing their new faces in the mirror. He extrapolated that it takes at least 21 days for something to become second nature to us humans. Although Maltz was careful not to claim his observations as a fact, society quickly adopted this 21 days and 21 days myths. And now quite often from these coaches and personal development experts, quite often we hear that if you repeat this 21 days, you will be expert and you will change your life and something like this. And another really interesting survey I would like to present, I would like to demonstrate. It's about habits again. Yes, it's about habits. and really interesting, I hope the study, which was conducted in 2009, researchers recruited 96 people who were interested in forming a new daily habit, like say drinking water before bed. It's really, really important for our health, as I know I'm trying to do this. Also early in the morning, before you have breakfast, it's also very, very essential and useful for us, for all of us. So now let's continue. So they wanted to establish new habits according to the survey. Maybe the drinking the water, it will be, or other any of the new habit and good habit for them. And they monitored them over 12 weeks. Each of the participants were asked to self-report on how automatic their new self-chosen habit felt, including whether it felt hard to do. Yes, at the beginning, mostly it's very, very hard, really, or if they could do it without any thinking. The results were very, very varied, really. It's not 21 days. For some participants, they only needed 12, not 21 days, but 18 days, yes, for a behavior to become a habit. For others, the adopted behavior still did not feel like second nature after even 254 days. It's a kind of long period, is it right? Long span of the period. And also these researchers predicted the holdout would get there eventually. So on average, it took participants 66 days to solidify their new habits. So 66 days to solidify their new habits. And the model now I would like to present, it's based on the 66 days new habit installation development. So the model explaining habit installation, how it's happening. It contains 3 basic phases. Now let's speak about this. The first one, it's destruction phase. We call it destruction, and the name itself already shows this content. Yes, that's right. So it's a really difficult phase. It's very difficult time. It's going to be hard at first. You are destroying the old habits and the emotional architecture of that old habit, and always very difficult when you are destroying the old and when you are building the new one. Is it right? Because when you are accustomed to doing for years, for months, something, it really takes too much energy, too much discipline, too much willpower to change it, to convert to the new habit. Approximately 20 days it takes. Then we have the second phase. The second phase in the confusion. The name itself shows what it means. After you have destroyed it, after you destroy the old habits, it's like a renovation. There is a mess. Now you are confused. It's normal if you are confused. If you are confused, it means that you are growing, they say. So maybe it's worth taking into consideration. It's worth really considering. So it's quite messy, as they say, in the middle. And the last one is an integration. So it's kind of last and the best. So it kind of becomes, when it becomes automatic, when your actions become automatic, when you do not use so much willpower, not use so much discipline, and it's not so hard anymore. It becomes an easy process. You only use willpower until you get to automatically. So automatically. So this phase we can regard that it's already habit, and we change our bad old habit into good new habit. We converted bad habit into the new habit. So I think it's very, very important. And we have to remember, if you want really to change our habits, we have to take into mind, and we have to bear it in our minds that it takes approximately 66 days, and we have to endure. It's very important. We don't have to give up. We don't have to give up, and then it will become our habit. But again, I would just remind you, it's one is just estimation. Yes, as we have already said, according to the survey, some people it takes only 18 days, some people takes maybe 21 days, or some people takes 66 days, or even the other people it takes 242, even more, 44, or even more days. So this is, I wanted to share for today the good habits, which really worth maybe to install, to develop. But at the end of the day, the most important for all of us, of course, is to be happy. And if you like the video and you think that it was interesting and informative for you, please don't forget to subscribe not to miss any further videos. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next time. See you soon.